I'm Canada's next MasterChef! I'm here in my tiny kitchen in my studio apartment in Toronto, Ontario. This is where I make the majority of my meals, and it goes to show that you don't have to have a huge kitchen to make delicious food. I'm going to take you to my cottage though, which is where I really developed my passion for cooking, and talk a little bit more about why I'm going to be Canada's next MasterChef. My passion for cooking really started when I was a kid, watching my mom and grandma at the cottage cook up my favorite dishes. But it really didn't blossom for me until I was in university, and I was faced with this dilemma. I loved great food, but I was on a student's budget. So what that kind of forced me to do was go to the grocery store and see what was on sale, see what we had in the pantry lying around. And what that led to was me using these unique flavor combinations and basically creating dishes out of what I had. And that was a challenge for me, but I loved the challenge. And I think that's why I would be great on MasterChef. So the cottage has always been a really special place for me because as a child, I was bullied quite a bit. So much so that actually one of my bullies contacted me 10 years later to say sorry for what he'd done. And you know, being at the cottage was my escape. I'd come up here the day after school ended, I'd be with my family, I'd be making these great memories with them, doing fun things, having big family dinners. And I think that's why food and family and the cottage are all so important to me. And really it's why the cottage is my favorite place on earth. Some of my favorite things to cook with are, you know, those tougher meats that take a long time to break down, things that you have to do low and slow, but when you do, they come out juicy and tender and beautiful. I also love cooking with random ingredients, so I love taking a trip down to my local Asian supermarket and just seeing what's there. The other day I went down and I picked up some ox tongue and ended up making an ox tongue ramen with it, and it turned out really great. So my cooking dream is to own a small catering business, and that boils down really to just making people happy with my food. I want to provide memorable food experiences for them and just elevate their events and their special days to that next level. I'm going to be Canada's next MasterChef because whenever I do anything in my life, I am intensely focused on it, to the point where it's actually bad sometimes. But I have been described as a laser beam, a fire hose, all those things where it's once I choose a direction that I'm going in that direction. I'm not stopping. I'm going to burst through walls. I'm going to burst through adversity, barriers, whatever it takes. I'm going to get there. That's why I'm going to be Canada's next MasterChef. And now, here's a shameless plug from my Bobby.
Please choose Matthew for MasterChef Canada. He really is fantastic.
VanderHelm!